Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members. My name is Steve Wofford, and I'm here in support of HB 1761. I'm not just here as a father. I'm here as a witness to what happens when the judges in family courts forget who they're supposed to serve and the laws they're supposed to abide by. Over the past several months, I've had to fight just to see my newborn son. It's been 107 days since I've seen him. Not because I'm unfit, not because I've done anything wrong, but because judges are using discretion over our rights without any compelling state interest, and there are no consequences. And this isn't just about one ruling. It's about a system that enables this, protects it, and refuses to correct itself. And this is not just my story. So since I went public, I've been flooded with messages from other parents. And, sorry, I lost my place. And half of the people, 10 years ago, it was mostly fathers reaching out, but half of them are mothers today. And that tells me something. This isn't about gender anymore. It's about unchecked power in the courtroom, and it's hurting many families, either directly or indirectly. Judges are removing loving, capable parents from their children's lives with no oversight, transparency, and accountability. When the people are no longer believe that they can find justice in the courts, the breakdown won't stay inside the courtroom. The loss of trust in the courts doesn't just impact families, it affects the core of our society in generations to come. And this is why I'm urging you. Judges and courts closed off from accountability breed broken families. If judges won't hold themselves accountable, and they most likely won't, we need true oversight by the people and not just through elections. Because without accountability, power always protects itself. Judges are here to protect the rights of the people, and it shouldn't matter how full their dockets are. I'm all for raising the pay so that way we can attract better talent and give them the space and time to make better decisions for their families.
Thank you, Mr. Wofford. Thank you. Thanks for your testimony. Chair calls Charles Suehs?
Suehs or Suehs, either will work.
Well, which do you
Suehs.
Suehs.
We'll go with
All
Suehs. Great-grandpa had an umlaut in there. So
okay, so I've got you here, Charles Suehs, registered on behalf of yourself for the bill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, go ahead.
I want to encourage y'all's work on this bill. You're headed in the right direction. It still needs some work. One of the things that occurred to me listening to the judges that were talking about the work that they do is that there are a lot of good judges still working out there, but the system that they are working in is being damaged by other bad judges. When a judge is damaging the mechanism for the appeals process is the one thing that the litigants have in order to put the judge's mistakes in order to address the judge's mistakes. And these judges are actively corrupting the mechanics necessary to affect those appeals. What I did not see in the bill was anything collecting data on corruption complaints. Where someone can make, hey, you've got a corruption problem in such and such county or in such and such district. We should at least be capturing some of the data on the complaints of corruption and judicial, not overreach. I mean, it's actually judicial corruption from testimony that we heard today. And third, when we're addressing pay for judges, please be careful not to complete the loop that allows a judge through improper behavior to adjust their pay, because it is a corrupting cycle. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Suehs. Appreciate your testimony. George Saldana, I have you here on behalf of yourself, registered for the bill. Yes, registered for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is George Saldana, and I'm here to voice my strong support for House Bill 1761. First, thank you, Representative Leach, for bringing this forward, this important piece of legislation to strengthen the judicial accountability and transparency in Texas. I may be a pro se litigant and perhaps a minority in this room, but I ask you to consider my perspective as someone who has experienced the justice system firsthand and has spent years trying to understand how it works and where it fails. Over the past 7 years, I've studied the State Commission on Judicial Conduct very, very closely. In recent Senate testimony, the commissioner, former chair, now Presiding Judge David Shank of the Court of Appeals stated that the commission was told not to sanction judges. The current executive director Habersham, also admitted they shut down online access to the judicial grievance process, limiting public transparency. Today we hear her say that the commission conducts investigation, but this doesn't match what we're seeing on the ground. At a public SCJC meeting held at the Supreme Court building this last October, more than 80 people came to testify, and the overwhelming concern was simple: no investigations. What's an investigation? What is a thorough investigation? The SCJC will tell you they investigated, and they won't. This was my star witness who supplied an affidavit in support of my grievance. Wasn't called. SCJC had my grievance for 2.5 years in violation of that same government code you are going to try to amend today. So my question is, why are we being held accountable to frivolous complaints from the public? But how do we hold that SCJC complaint? Or how do we hold the SCJC accountable when they fail to meet their expectations as per law? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Saldana. Appreciate your testimony. The chair calls Terrence Champagne. Mr. Champagne, I have you here on behalf of yourself, registered for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
My name is Terrence Champagne, and I am testifying in favor of the bill. I've been listening to some of the testimonies regarding what it is to serve as a judge and how it's a public duty. It's really interesting to hear that because I'm a veteran of the United States Army, served as an 11 Bravo infantryman, and we were on the job 24/7. Whether individuals were deployed, whether we were in garrison, we were still on the job 24/7. Some of these judges and attorneys are complaining that you're there, you're getting your calls at 3 in the morning and things like that. If you are a public servant, you are expected to be on the call 24/7, at least if you're in the military. I don't know, maybe it's a bit different.
I don't think they've been complaining about it. I think they've just been sharing the nature of their job, but.
Okay, well, that's how I perceived it. Maybe it's different. And I just want to point that out. I think our public servants should be accountable, and especially in important things like like we mentioned, right, where there are family protective issues. Ms. Lundy earlier remarked how with strawberries, right, you remove the bad strawberry from the batch. And it would seem, based on observations, that currently we aren't removing those bad judges right now with the SCJC. The investigations simply aren't happening. If none of you have ever watched those biennial public hearings with the SCJC, you can see that there is a huge problem regarding protecting families. One of the individuals alluded to the importance of protecting families with discretion. Well, when these judges overdo their discretion, they end up harming families. I've seen it happen multiple times, multiple individuals, not just in Travis County, Harris County, Dallas, all over the state. So before moving forward on this bill, which I think you should look at the past testimony for the SCJC, almost exclusively related to what's going on in family court. And that's my testimony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Champagne, and thank you for your service to this country and for being here today. Members, any questions? All right, thank you. Appreciate the testimony. All right, our final panel, the chair calls Megan Lavoie, Callie McDonald,